it was like, whoa. I got a call at 5:30 in the morning, and I saw who it was, and it was a friend. And he said, Gene passed away last night.
And it was a total shock.
Everybody was in disbelief. He was probably somebody who appeared invincible.
He was like he was immortal.
Diagnosed on a Sunday, gone on a Wednesday. It was surreal.
It was really, really hard. None of us were able to say goodbye.
It is tough, and he will always be in my heart. But it's also comforting to know that so many people loved him and that he touched so many people's lives.
He led the Players Association in every capacity you can have. Alternate player, executive committee, president, executive director during a 40-year period. So the modern NFLPA was created under the leadership of Gene Upshaw.
I represent the players because of a commitment to the cause and what they stand for.
He was the one person responsible for securing the unfettered freedom of NFL players.
It was 1986. I get a phone call. Hey boy, it's Uppy. I need you. We're gonna do it. And I said, do what? And he said, free agency. We gotta do it. If we don't do it this time, we're never gonna do it.
He used to keep, when he was negotiating, in the pocket of his suit jacket, a piece of cotton.
I remember seeing these little tufts of cotton in the house, in his closet.
His parents taught him to be honest, to be respectful. That little cotton ball was a reminder of his Texas days.
And how difficult it was to accomplish and achieve what he accomplished.
Well, if Gene walked into a room, he commanded attention and respect.
He's all bark, no bite with me, at least. I wouldn't want to be sitting across from him on a negotiation table.
I think he was a natural-born leader. He's the kind of person that instills confidence in people.
You would hear him before you would see him, because he would get up the elevator and just announce, hey, the hell y'all doing? Get back to work. And they would be like, yes, it's Gene.
Here. What are you doing?
Boy, pick your feet. I can't do an impression.
Huh.
What are you two doing together again? I don't like that.
First, I saw him on TV in the Super Bowl versus the Packers. This brash, young offensive guard, just talking, and he never stopped.
Gene went through the battles and went through a number of wars that no executive director of the NFL Players Association should ever have to go through.
Well, we were in pretty dire financial straits. We had no money.
So by June or July of every year, we'd go completely flat broke.
My first paycheck, the controller at that time said to me, if everybody cashes all these checks, they're going to bounce. So can you hold on to it?
I think when Gene came in, he understood what we had to do.
I think he was an innovator, having the foresight to create Players Inc.
Because he knew that was what was going to help make the union stronger. The deeper our pockets were, the longer we could sustain bargaining, litigation, then the more we were going to accomplish.
It has now put us in a position where we don't run the union and we don't fight legal battles with any of our players' dues.
Gene took over a bankrupt, basically, organization and grew it into, hundreds of millions of dollars.
He brought football into the modern era. He certainly enriched every player's life like no one ever has.
If a player called him and needed something, he would pull out his personal checkbook and write a check for whatever they needed.
After Gene passed, I received a lot of letters that Gene took care of bills for a former player, and he didn't tell me that he was taking care of somebody or he had done something. He just went out and did it. That's who he was.
I have to think that one of the things that contributed to his ill health in his later years was how much it bothered him that there were former players out there saying that he didn't care about them.
He was actually taken down by his own, and from the time he played, where they thought he was in it more for today's player. I think what they failed to acknowledge was collective bargaining. You represent active employees.
He wanted to fix everything, but he knew he couldn't. He tried. I mean, we started whittling away at the list, and started working on it for years and years at a time. But I think that's what hurt him the most, to see players suffer.
Gene Upshaw
for me, was a guy that I went to. There are times when, as a coach, you're down. Things aren't going right. And whenever that happened, I would go talk to Uppy.
When I think about the NFLPA, you have to associate it with Gene Upshaw. I'm not sure many people can separate the two.
He's just one of those remarkable men that you can't duplicate.
I miss his voice. I miss his presence and his conversations.
What I miss most is his friendship and the laughs that we used to have.
There are times when I walk by the statue downstairs, and I'm pretty clumsy, so if I happen to trip, I always imagine that I hear Gene, pick your damn self up, you know, get up off the floor.
You can hear his voice in your head if you're quiet. His presence is everywhere, even though he's not physically here.